Sure. Thank you.
All right, joining me now, Rebecca Grant, IRIS Independent Research President and National Security Analyst, and Peter Brookes, retired Navy Commander and former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense. So, Rebecca, I want to come to you first. I mean, so we have this missile strike only 12 miles away from Poland. This seems like an escalation from Putin. Should we be concerned?
Yes, because striking out to the west shows that Putin is trying to hit the supplies that come in on that route. He struck 2 airfields out there, and now he wants to make sure that NATO gets the message, hey, I know you're supplying Ukraine, and I'm capable of striking out there. It's far too close to the border, so definitely a dangerous sign.
And Peter, what's troubling with this is, you know, this might be intentional, but it's 12 miles away from Poland. If something goes wrong and a missile goes into Poland, obviously you're going to have a heightened NATO. There could be a response. This could spiral out of control very quickly. I guess my question for you is, how would NATO respond if there was a missile that goes into Poland?
Yeah, I mean, the important thing here to see is this is strategic intent, or this was a mistake by a local commander in terms of launching these missiles, although we are seeing a lot of these missiles coming out of Russia. NATO would get together to talk about it and how they should respond. Response, probably could be something that's proportional. They could decide that it's a mistake and that it shouldn't happen again. I mean, there's things that they can certainly do, but one of the most important things is to get together and discuss this politically and decide how they will respond. Hopefully, we never get to this to that point, but obviously with the strike today, it's certainly a possibility and something we need to be thinking about in advance of something like that happening.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how quickly a situation like this could spiral out of control, and you could have Armageddon on our hands. Rebecca, so we've heard that Russia is bringing in foreign fighters. We've had the report yesterday or today that Russia has asked China for economic and military aid. What does this say about how the war is going for Russia?
Well, the war isn't going the way Putin hoped it would at first, but let's be clear, it's pretty grim right now, and what we see is a tactic that Putin used in Grozny 2 decades ago, and that is bringing in artillery to safer positions that are close to Kiev, and also then continuing to do the small unit armor attacks. So no question, Putin still is trying to encircle Kyiv and beat the Ukrainian resistance that way. So, I think we're at a really, really critical phase, and the only thing Putin is going to pay attention to is the progress that his forces are making on the ground.
So Peter, I'm pretty surprised at how much information the American intelligence community is actually putting out. And they were doing this before Russia attacked Ukraine, letting everyone in the world know where their troops were moving, where they were probably going to attack. But I think the most recent intelligence communication has come that Russia was actually talking to China. Was this the U.S.'s effort to embarrass Putin? I mean, what's the purpose behind telling everyone that Russia needs help from China?
Well, assuming that these reports are correct, and it did come from intelligence, I think the idea here was to pressure the Chinese, because today, our national security advisor Jake Sullivan was meeting with a Chinese counterpart in Rome. So this news got out ahead of time, and also was to potentially, preempt any sort of cooperation between Russia and China. Now, I think this shows on the Russian part some of the other things that you mentioned as well, bringing in other forces is their desperation. I think the Chinese are going to be seriously cautious about this because they don't want to set a precedent. And I'm sure that both sides, if this is correct, assuming it's true, do not want this to be made public, because I don't believe that the Chinese do want to get involved in the conflict in Ukraine.
Yeah, they don't want the consequences from the West, and I think those consequences could be severe. Rebecca, one just last quick question for you. Is time on Ukraine's side? The longer they're able to hold out, the better off they are, or what's your assessment?
Yes, time is on their side. So Ukraine has to hold out long enough for Putin to decide that he's ready to talk, or for him to decide that he just didn't bring enough of an army to take that country. Every day Ukraine holds out is better, but we must keep resupplying them and giving them all the intelligence we can feed them as well.
Absolutely. Give them, I mean, they want to fight. They have the will to fight. Let's give them the armaments to actually fight back and push back and hopefully get Putin to the bargaining table. Rebecca and Peter, thank you for joining me. Thanks for your insights.
Thank you. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.